I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to use a capo on your guitar. I got a few different capos for you to check out here. This one is the D'Addario one. This one, you just put it on and then you tighten it there. I got what's known as a trigger capo. This is very common. This one happens to be the Dunlop one. And then I have essentially another capo trigger. This is an Ernie Ball capo. Now, this one has a radius side and a non-radius side. I'll talk about that in a second. But let's get into the tips of the capo. If you don't know what a capo is used for, it's essentially to take this nut here and move it up. So if you want to play something in a different key, this is great for singers. You just grab your capo. I'll just grab it right here. I'm going to put it here on the 2nd fret, and I'm going to play the same chords I just played. And that's going to put the key up to a higher key. Again, great if you're a singer for that. Now, here's the tips on. Tip number 1, when you put the capo on, where I like to put it is I like to put it in the middle, a little bit, maybe a hair closer to the fret. I don't like to put it too close to the fret because then it can kind of get in your way with your hand here. So just put it up in about the middle of the fret, and that's a good spot for it. Tip number 2 is make sure that it is parallel with the fret. So don't put it on sideways. Put it on right there about the middle. Make sure it's nice and straight with the frets. And then before I get to tip number 3, I want to talk about that radius, what I mentioned. Most guitar capos are what are called radius. And what that means is that there's a slight curve in the capo because a lot of acoustic and electric guitar necks have a radius, which means it has a little curve here on the neck. So you do want a guitar capo. Now, most classical guitars are flat. They do not have a radius. So they do have special classical guitar capos for that as well. So anyway, that's what radius is. Tip number 3 is after you put the capo on, no matter what fret you're going to put it on, I would tune it up. That's why I have my tuner here. I would tune it up. I won't do the whole thing now, but I would tune it up because when you put it on, it could kind of push the string a little bit of a weird way, and you don't want to put the capo on and then have it add the tune, especially if you have time to tune it. I know if you're working a gig and things are happening fast with the song, that may not be a possibility, but if it is, especially if you're in a studio situation or have the time, make sure to tune up after you put the capo on. So all these capos that I have here and the tuner and, matter of fact, even tailored guitars you can get at terrycartermusicstore.com. And if you want to learn more, get better at the guitar, let me help you over on our educational site, rocklikethepros.com. Appreciate you being here. Do you have a capo? Which one do you use? Leave that comment below, and we'll see you next time.